that's the best.
Okay, guys, we're here. It's we're Gods of Amenti, and this is like Clash of the Titans kind of thing. You've got myself, Darren, and my beautiful wife, Druanna, and all the way across the other side of the world, we have our good friend Santos Bonacci, who's going to help explain what it is we're actually going to be bringing to the table in our November workshop seminar in Mexico. So this is going to interest a lot of you guys. So let's see what we have in store for you, eh?
Yes, so I'm really excited to have you on board. Santos Bonacci, I've been a big fan of yours for many years. So I'm just trying to contain myself right now because I'm really excited. I've been following your work. You have inspired my work as well when I train my students in the secure creditor realm, but I always bring in a little bit of the historical flavor, which you've actually been able to help me with that, especially talking about the Roman Church, how humanity became enslaved. We went into a deep sleep in the Dark Ages, and now we're at the time of the Aquarian Age, how we're able to move out of that in order to be extremely free. And so you've been a great inspiration, because right now, at the moment, people need to connect the dots of who they are, where they come from. It's very important, and not just, talk about just as far as stuff that's going on in the United States only, the sovereignty world and the corruption there. It's not about that. It started many centuries ago, thousands of years ago. And, your expertise is greatly needed, especially when everybody who was asleep need to awaken so they can know who they are and where we all come from and what it is we need to do to awaken our pineal gland, moving into the ascension process of awareness and so forth. So that's pretty much what the workshop in November is going to be about. So anyway, we're just going to have an awesome discussion with you, Santos, and I cannot wait. You take it away.
Well, thank you. And everything you just said then is absolutely in line with what I'm bringing. What I'll be bringing is syncretism in all its various aspects, which will integrate all of these fields of knowledge. So I want to do that. I want to show how people can do it themselves, how you can how you can know all these fields of knowledge just through simple graphics, like the torus field, modeling the torus field, modeling the sine wave, and based on astrology, based on 12 separate parts of energy. And I want to show how all of that is in our culture. It's in our mythology. It's in our philosophies, teachings. It's in your body. Your body, for instance, has 12 cranial nerves, you see, and they are the disciples of Christ, which is the cerebrum, the Lamb of God, Aries, in the head. And that cerebrum, Aries, controls the rest of the body, you see, through the nervous system and the 12 cranial nerves. So it's in your body, it's in the cosmos, it's in music, 12 notes. The 12 chromatic colors as well of the chromosomes and the 12 parts of the DNA. So I'm going to show how all of this 12ness fits in, and how when you model the universe with this principle, which is astrological. Astrology just means the science of light, by the way. That's what it means. So we're going to be learning the science of light.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I love the way that you said how everything's inside our bodies. It's something that we have. We already have the tools to unleash everything, to unlock everything. And it has to do with the awareness, correct? Awareness of knowing who you are and and all that.
It's like that. It's in like Hermeticism. It's in a bunch of teachings like so above, so below, within, without. It's all like you have the universe within inside you, and sometimes it's hard to grasp for if you're not into this kind of stuff. But this is actually the truth.
Exactly, and because that's the only way we can be able to take control of the situation, rather than trying to grasp what's outside of us. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. Man is the measure of the universe, and Origin, one of the first century, or second century BCE philosophers in Alexandria said, "You yourself are a universe unto yourself. In you there is a sun, a moon, the planets, and all the stars." So those Christians, they were Gnostic Christians back then, they knew that we are a microcosm, a fractal of God. So we are fractalized gods, you know,
Wow.
and individualized. And so we're going to be learning this knowledge, the knowledge that will set you free. So, and the keys. What I ultimately want to speak about is the keys of the kingdom. So, in other words, to unlock all of the holy books and what they're really saying, because they're literary, they're not literal.
Exactly.
So I'm showing, so I'm showing that, and I'm showing the keys. Once you have the keys, it's quite simple. You'll understand all the theologies and all the sciences. The simple key.
I can't wait to hear that.
I can't wait. It's exciting. See, the kingdom is within you, definitely, and that's important. Like, we really love and follow the teachings of Hermes. Can you talk a little bit about Hermes and Thoth, or Tehote?
Yeah, well, Hermes is Buddha, which is also Mercury in astrology. It's the Greek word, and also the Egyptian is Thoth. In Babylon, it's Nebo, hence Nebuchadnezzar. You know, all of these kings, they always have Mercury, the winged messenger of God, always near the sun, serving the sun, always. In fact, the planets do actually orbit the sun. In that sense, it is heliocentric, although astrology teaches us that the system is geocentric. But nonetheless, it's still, they are aspects of the sun, and they are always circling the sun, as Julian the Emperor said. So when we understand that cycles are generated from the pulse that comes from the sun is pulsating, it's magnetism. And all cycles are fractal of this pulse of the sun. And so the information that syncretism offers is information for you to unlock the cryptic, let's call it, way that these scriptures were written, to encode, you know, higher messages. The Jews of the Kabbalistic 11th century in Spain were writing about this and saying not to take their scriptures as literal. And that was Moses I forget his name now, I just can't think, but the second Moses, they call him. Moses is also Hermes. So Moses had the writing stylus, and he was writing the Torah. The Torah is the torus field. So he's writing about magnetism. And so this is Hermes, this is Moses. Hermes has 2 green emerald tablets. Moses has 2 slabs of stone on which the 10 commandments were put on. It's the same archetype. So, but this is the thing. When it comes to Hermes, that's just one way of the divine, the demiurge, channeling information to us. All 7 are equally as important. So the sun, for instance, that's what generated the Helio-Gnostics, the knowers of the sun. So Mercury is a different way of getting information. The sun is more direct knowledge. Right. And this information is what gives you direct knowledge, no opinions. It's called henosis or theurgy. And this is the yoga of the West, which the Neoplatonic school was teaching up until 527, when they were shut down by edict by Justinian, who was the same Justinian of the Justinian deception of dog Latin. He shut down the Neoplatonic schools, which were teaching astrology, vegetarianism, etc., and blessing the world with magnetic healing.
Wow.
So,
very interesting.
Yeah, so these guys were Helio-Gnostics, but then there's other ways of learning. There's Saturnian ways. There's Venusian, Martian. So all the 7, they are how we channel information from the transcendence. So yes, Hermes and the Hermetic teaching is great, because that's the channeler, main channeler of divine wisdom, but they all are, you see. So as Macrobius, the Neoplatonist of the 4th century, said, all the names of the gods, all of them go back to the sun. Every name of any god is always the sun, Helios. So I'm going to be teaching how the sun is important as well in our healing process, and activating our 3rd eye by doing solar gazing, extending your palms out to the sun as well. I'm going to be teaching all these things to get the magnetic field in your body regenerated and strong, and so that your Taurus field is whole and has no holes and will be holy and hallowed. Okay, so we're going to learn that through the salts. Halos means salt in Greek, and salvation comes from salt in Latin. So sal and hal. We're going to be learning about these salts and how, you know, your body is just a bunch of salt, you know, magnesium, sodium, chlorine. These are all salts. Potassium, phosphate, phosphorus,
right,
etc. So
that's amazing. Yeah, because the sun, obviously, it is that is the way, that is the connection. Without it, we wouldn't be here. Pretty much, it's that connection. They always keep talking about the Son of God, the sun, right? Obviously, it's the sun, and that's what I love hearing about the planets, because it only makes perfect sense. Instead of creating it into like gods and all that, it's actually it was hidden in the planets the whole time. So I mean, obviously that's really cool. Are you blown away? He's like,
I just love listening to this guy.
We're just sitting there like, wow. That's amazing. It is amazing. So it's all about inner wisdom, unlocking the powers within yourself, and utilizing the sun, the planets, in order to become you.
Well, that's what this workshop's all going to be about.
That's important.
It's the knowledge that people need. Obviously, we'll be both teaching different exercises that you can do, where they can feel, they can take on the senses, they can experience it for themselves, not just listening to words, because the torsion field, the aura, the energies are real. It's there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean to say it does not exist. But this is actual life, and this is knowledge that's not been taught, which ourselves don't understand why in one hand, but we do understand in the other hand, but we can get to that a bit later on. But pretty much to top it all off, I want to listen to them all. What you gonna say? I can just sit here and go, yeah, okay, bring it on.
Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we got to put in such a small time, especially in the workshop. But we will be doing more workshops together. I mean, this is just the start of something that's going to explode into the universe, and we're just going to keep going. Kind of going with the flow with it. Yeah, we're just going to keep going. Exactly, and I've always had this, feeling, because I was a student of, the reason why I asked about the Hermes, I was a student of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn for many years, since I was 21. So actually, when I was a little younger, I was too young to join the temple at the time, but it's always, someone handed me a book, and then from there, I read it, and then I started practicing it, and then I became part of the order for many years. And, it was no accident. It was to learn more about the Kabbalah, the energies, microcosm, macrocosm, all of that it's all combined. And I was looking at the time, I was looking for spell work, all the witchy stuff, but it was more like to do with spell work within yourself, that you are the magic, in order to learn that, you have to unleash the power within yourself. So we would use a lot of banishing rituals and, a lot of creative visualization and all of that. So it all pretty much ties in together, that the power is within yourself, but we're too drawn on the illusion of the external forces and distractions. Yeah. Exactly, getting tied to the what is it, the projections out there, that we get lost in, and I call it the hall of mirrors. So That's exactly what a mentee is. It's the hall of mirrors. It's the big distraction of the illusion on the external world that keep us busy from not learning on our advancement in our evolution. So
Exactly.
is there anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
So I think we could safely say that what we're doing is empowering people and helping them to find their magic. Magic is rooted in magnetism and magnitude. So in order to find magic, we must operate from the spiritual energy of the universe, which is magnetism, and electricity is the material energy of the universe. And magnetism is 10 billion times more powerful than electricity. If you're a follower of Faraday and Maxwell and all these guys who did their equations and discovered this. So that information has been suppressed because it's not handy to, help people or reveal to people how powerful magnetism is and how it is the healing agent of the universe. So magic comes from this. And so what I'm going to be teaching as well is how to bring power, reactivate your power. But you can't reactivate your power unless you've done the hard yards and you're worthy. The universe will not restore your power or nor renew it unless you have done good works. So we have to know what these works are.
Right.
You see, most people get distracted with works of, say, I don't know, career, sporting achievements. All of these are, not effective. So how to know how to self-empower is the most important thing. How to get energy, bring it into the body, how to heal, how to use the mind correctly to remember things, details, and how to put it together. When you know how to put it together with syncretism, then you have a lot of power. And then, of course, as you start practicing all your good protocols, then you are more worthy and more in the frequency of getting that power. And then one day, all your power is restored.
Awesome.
And that's where we're heading.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So
are you on about like realigning kind of like thing with like the updated version is basically the law of attraction kind of thing? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, look, there are ways of raising the frequency and the consciousness. It's called ascension, to ascend. And you can do that, for instance, with sex. So this is what I teach, white tantra, and how it is known to the esoterics that if you practice this perfectly in a perfect matrimony, white tantric sex for 12 years, you are able to generate a 13th cranial nerve. And this is called the Christ. And it gives you access to the Akashic records forever. And you are fully awakened when that Christ is enthroned with his 12 disciples, the 12 other cranial nerves. And so you are able to regenerate that nerve, the 13th. And so this is how important some of these teachings are that I'm teaching,
That's
white tantra. Today, black tantra and grey tantra is taught, and people think it's really special and, real and true and beneficial, whereas it's not. It's beneficial for descending, but it is not beneficial for ascending. And so these are just some of the things I'll be teaching. Diet, how to eat properly. For instance, at least once a day, you should have a mono meal, just one food. Don't have, all these, elaborate cooked up dishes all the time. You can't do that 3 times a day. One meal must be mono, because the liver, how to do intermittent fasting, at least 16 hours a day, dry fasting. Don't touch anything in the mouth, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And then just eat for 8 hours. So these are all ways, these are protocols that I implemented to get where I am today, which is really good health. I'm 56. I've never had any problems with my body except for this parasitic infestation that's caused irritable bowel syndrome, etc.
Me too. All the time. I'm horrible with that. All the time. Like no matter what I do, I've done the hydrotherapy, colon hydrotherapy. I eat raw all day and then I eat cooked at night. But I start off with a mono diet, you know, like a banana in the morning or just a fruit, and you know, do the best that I can. And automatically, I've been battling this crap for a while. Just even though it's completely gone, and then it keeps coming back, and parasitical problems, same thing.
Horrible things. But it's not just parasitical on the side of the body. It's parasites actually sucking your energies. You know, like the vampire energies, and people not knowing why they're feeling so tired. And there's just so many questions out there about ill health, fatigue, and all this, and it all ties in. It's specific knowledge that we're actually going to be putting out there. So not only this is going to be good for us on a spiritual level, it's going to be good for the health level. And you never know, you may get some ideas in the Tantra wardrobe, you know.
Yeah.
But
well, it generates the greatest inspiration because sexual energy is the perfect God energy when utilized correctly.
yeah,
And it's the most transmuting of all because you do it together. You do it with your divine partner in which you are in love and with. And so both of you are able to now generate an ascension process, which is much faster than doing it alone.
Wow.
The ones that do it alone and the religions that teach celibacy are absolutely left-hand path religions. Celibacy is the most harmful of all sexual practices, you know.
I got a question on that.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember where I got it from, but I was reading somewhere, or it might have been off a video, that if you, it's released from your pineal gland, it shoots down your thing that's connected to your brain, all the way down your back, your spinal column, down to your sexual glands, and then if it's not squandered for about a month, it returns and shoots back up and returns to the pineal gland, to where it explodes into like something like the way you get the Christ conscious vibration or something on your crown chakra. Would that be correct, or? Because
just excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we
no
can
problem.
still hear you.
Yeah.
He's probably messing up the cables on the back.
So that's how the Christ consciousness is ascended, you see. So it's all about a way of ascending the Christ consciousness. And did I have my video off then, did I?
No.
While he's talking, it usually shows him talking anyway.
Yeah.
While you were doing your thing in the background.
But yeah, I was just thinking.
Just talking about the secretion of the pineal gland and all that.
Yeah, when it comes back down, because I think it was from that guy who does the mask. What do you call him? Jim Carrey. I think he did a video and he mentioned something about that. And I was just curious if that was one of the ways that it actually works, because I think that was mentioned. You know, when you get the 5 Tibetan rites, this practice is supposed to be the 6th Tibetan rite, which is obviously when you go into celibacy and that kind of stuff. But were you just discussing things like that? That's where I got confused, thinking, well, is that the right way? Because you were mentioning about the celibacy or doing it by yourself. Obviously, that would help descend. So I got kind of a bit of a confused.
Well, celibacy, there is a form of celibacy which is necessary at the very, very end of the process, but it's still sexual. It's celibacy, it's sex of a transcendental kind. So Thomas H. Burgoyne speaks about this in his book, The Light of Egypt, Volume 1. And I bring it out many, many times in my presentations. So the point is that if one abstains from elevating and transmuting this energy, one will do harm to themselves. So it has to be expressed, and it has to be transmuted. It's an energy that needs to be sublimated. If it's not sublimated, then it won't be perfected, brought up the spine, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's quite curious.
So celibacy will not enable that. But as you said, once a month, the seed is generated.
Yeah.
And it is when the moon transits your sun sign, and it begins its journey up the spine. And so this is the time for that regeneration to occur. Hey, can you talk for a minute? Because I've got to just something.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
You're asking for it. Okay, I see what you mean. You're so funny. Yeah, that's basically what we're going to be talking about with the November workshop. It's all about self-empowerment, the key to the kingdom, which is what's within you. Yeah. Once you're able to unlock that, you'll be able to pretty much ascend and move into the fourth, fourth dimension. And be aware, your psychic abilities will be heightened.
It's basically, everybody out there is looking for something. Everybody's looking for an answer. Everybody's looking for that thing. And basically, it's all to do with knowledge. And this kind of knowledge is actually connecting the dots to your physical, mental, spiritual self. This is knowledge that's not taught in mainstream, which you'll find out the reasons why in the seminar. And there's just so much that's going to go on, and you're just going to want to come back again and again, because this is a perpetual thing that we have going, and the knowledge, we can't really fit everything just into one seminar, one workshop, even though it's going to be for about 3 days.
And maybe another time we can do a 1 day, a 2 day or something.
Yeah.
It depends, because we're going to be in a very, like what M1 also said, in Yucatan, it's a very powerful place. It's a very powerful place. And he mentioned that the energy's there. You don't even have to go to Tibet for that. It's in the Yucatan. Because of something to do with the underground tunnels, holds a lot of energy as well. So we're near a lot of the pyramids and the synchronic lines. The synchronic lines are extremely powerful as well. So you're back.
Actually,
yeah.
We're actually not far from where the green emerald tablets of Thoth were found in 1920
something.
Something.
And the pyramids in Chichen Itza.
When Santos comes down, we'll show him around a couple of places, and we'll see what he pulls out with that. But he's back anyway. So the presentations will be in Cancún, yeah?
Yes, it's going to be in Cancún, Mexico.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to have it at the Sheraton. It's going to be a very nice place to hold it. And Cancun's the best, area, because you just fly in and you're right there. It's not like you got to fly in, then you got to go through some bumpy road on a bus with chickens and no, just kidding, with a bunch of things. But you're just there. So, and it's extremely modern. Like you feel like you're in the United States. It's like you really don't miss it, because you have everything there. You got your Home Depot, you got your you got your Walmart, you got your really nice malls. You know, I hate Walmart. Your nice malls and everything. So you just really don't feel like you really miss anything. That's what's so
for everybody
awesome.
there.
Very Americanized place because a lot of expats are there from all over. So you'll enjoy it.
I look forward to hanging out with you, coming a little bit earlier and leaving a little bit later. I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're really happy about that. We're happy to have you come down because I know you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's a great place. They have a nice convention center too. I mean, we could really expand on this.
Pull them in by the third.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to it as well.
Yeah.
Yay, so very excited. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to come down, November. We're looking into, let me see the calendar because we got October. Heck, I'd have you come down for October if you could, but I know you're a little busy in where you're at right now.
Yeah, I kind of made a.
Because we're doing.
Yep. No,
Yeah, that's
it has to
perfectly
be
fine.
November, because
Yeah.
I've got a visa run to Costa Rica on the 6th of November, so I'll probably spend a week in Costa Rica with some friends.
Okay. Yeah.
And then go down to you guys in Mexico.
Yeah, oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. So it will be November 22nd, 23rd, 24th, and 25th. That's what we're looking at. So that sounds pretty good for you?
Yeah, it'll come down a while before,
yeah.
but that's when we're looking at the workshop. So yeah, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th. That sounds really good.
And then you can experience the energies too at the pyramids, and maybe some of you that do come down for the workshop afterwards, you know, you're done with the workshop, you can come down, we'll take you around to Tulum. Tulum is amazing. You know, you can have a picture of Tulum where the pyramids, the Mexican pyramid, you see that clear, beautiful water, that's Tulum. We're like only 2 hours away from there.
Looks like glass.
Crystal
early
clear.
in the morning when it's just flat.
And we have our sailboat too, so we can take you out for a sail. Santos and a few people.
Ooh, I'll bring my GoPro for that one.
Yeah, we got a sailboat. Yay! That's probably why we got to keep our for that moment. So
Yeah.
you don't get boat sick, do you?
No seasick?
No.
Oh, that's
Okay,
cool.
perfect. Yeah, because my brother gets really sick on the sailboat. So yeah, so definitely come on down. This is going to be very, very exciting.
Oh, we'll fill your head with everything you need to know because this is deep stuff.
Yeah, and then in the near future, we might just do another one for possibly January.
Yeah, I mean, let's do one every couple of months. I mean, this knowledge really has to get out to the masses, and this is our beliefs. This is why we built Gods of Amenti, because it not only has a bit of a personal touch with it, it is a big teaching thing, because in ourselves we have the right of the gods.
It's unlocking.
Once you understand the power within and your
God
abilities.
realization.
Exactly. God realizations, and it's all here. And it starts in the pineal gland. And then obviously, you know, we'll be teaching our bit. Santos will be teaching his bit, and
M1 will be coming down to teach his bit, and he's all about it. He's also an alternative medicine doctor, and he's going to talk a little bit about the sun as well. You guys are going to freaking get along really well. I know it. You guys are going to be, I'm going to be like, come on, guys, gonna break you apart here. You're going to be talking so deep, because he talks about the sun, and there's a liquid within us that currency is actually generated. And this is what the Cabal don't let you know. It's not gold, it's something within us. And it's pretty deep stuff. Oh, I'm getting tingly.
I was going to say, the room with all this knowledge coming out, everybody really, it's going to be so electrifying. I will not be surprised if anybody starts levitating out their seat.
Yeah. This is what we're about, though. It's all about unlocking, empowering you, the individual, to awaken, so we can freaking hurry up already. That's what we need, right?
So you can actually be your better self.
Yeah.
And you can
Superman himself.
You can accomplish more in your life once you unlock this power within.
Thank you so much for joining us, Santos, and we cannot wait to see you here in Mexico.
Yeah.
You can hang out as long as you want.
Cheers around the campfire.
Much love and light. Take care. Keep you posted.
I'm gonna be there.
All right, awesome. Bye.
Big hugs.
Big hugs, virtual hugs.
Bye.
Bye-bye.